The future of 600 acres of preserved natural land is up for debate. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection will consider a land swap, 3,000 acres of private land to be preserved in exchange for 600 acres of the Guana River Preserve in St. Johns County to be developed. Our Zach Wilcox joins us live now from Spinsters Abbott's, that's in St. Augustine. And Zach, tonight they are making posters, they are planning a protest.
Yeah, Jeannie, you can't have a protest without posters, can you? So that's what's going on tonight. There's a protest happening in the morning, but they got to make those posters here, so they met at Spinsters Abbott's. We're a little early. Leave it to me to be a little early for a change, but we're a little early for that. It starts at 5:30. And, you know, we checked in over at Guana just to see folks who were there today about why that land is so important to them. And we talked with somebody who 40 years ago had a role to play in getting that land preserved in the first place.
Oh, it's just such a beautiful place to ride.
Jackie Morrison says she makes the long drive from Avondale to the Guana River Preserve regularly to go on 20-plus mile-long bike rides.
You don't have any other cars impeding you, nor are you getting in anyone's way.
Morrison is concerned about what would happen to her cycling route if 600 of the preserve's 11,000 acres are swapped to a developer.
If you have an area out here where you can still come and ride your bike and be safe, that to me outweighs the other 3,000 acres someplace else.
The Upland LLC is offering the state of Florida about 3,000 acres of private land broken into 4 parcels in the swap. They include roughly 1,400 acres in Lafayette County, 250 acres in Volusia County, 1,200 acres in Osceola County, and 220 acres in St. Johns County. In Upland's proposal, it argues the replacement parcels will offer a wider range of optimal habitat for native wildlife and public recreational use with 411% more conservation land.
I was probably involved in the acquisition of over 1.25 million acres of conservation lands, and this ranks right up there near the top.
Henry Dean was one of the ones who sealed the deal for the old Department of Natural Resources to buy Guana River Preserve for $48 million back in 1984. 40 years later, he's hoping to see that land stay intact.
So multiply this times 100 times, and you ask me, is this worth saving? So, I mean, I think a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Now, it's worth pointing out that the LLC's plan for those 600 acres isn't included in the proposal that a committee will be voting on next week. A DEP committee will be voting on that proposal and sending it off to the governor with either a positive recommendation or a negative recommendation. Then the governor and his cabinet will vote on it from there for a final approval. But none of that will happen before folks in St. Johns County, the ones who are coming here to make these posters, got a group walking up right now, have a chance to have their voices heard. In St. Johns County, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.